Welcome, Savannah. I am so excited to have you on the podcast. How are you today?
I am doing so good. How are you?
I'm good. Few technical difficulties. We got through it. It's fine. Sometimes it's just not on my side.
Sometimes we all have those days. It's all good.
I think so. I think we got to normalize technical difficulties and we're at the mercy of
Yes.
our computers sometimes.
Right.
Well, I am really excited about our conversation today about attraction marketing and how useful and impactful of a tool it can be. But before we get into all that, please introduce yourself and what it is that you do.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so my name is Savannah Jordan. I am a marketing strategist, and I primarily focus on helping my clients use attraction marketing strategies to basically sell their programs for them and sign their dream clients without using any lead generation or DM sales.
Love it. That's what everybody wants, basically. They just want to authentically
Right?
sell and sell out their courses and their masterminds and their group coaching and get those new clients in the door. So this kind of sounds like a dream come true, but how
Yep.
the heck do we do it? So let's dive right in. What exactly, for those of us that are new to attraction marketing, have maybe never even heard of it before, give us a skinny, what the heck is it?
Okay, so I think that a lot of people have different definitions, but my definition of attraction marketing is basically the art of creating content that essentially calls in your dream clients and sells out your programs for you. So I think a lot of attraction marketing is basically how you present yourself, like you said, authentically online, and then basically creating content that really speaks to your ideal clients' pain points, really speaks to where they're at in their business and showcases essentially the transformation of working with you that would be, happening in their business and in their life.
Yeah. So a lot of storytelling essentially is what I'm
Yeah.
hearing is you're hitting pain points and you are giving them the solution basically.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we're giving them just enough of a solution to where they're like, wow, I really want to work with this
Yeah.
person. And then kind of pulling them in to make them want to work with you even more
Right.
and get like the full solution and the full transformation.
Right. Okay, so something that could maybe be for an example when you hit a pain point of I don't know where to start with reels, and that's a pretty general
Yeah.
task to
Hmm.
tackle. So maybe we break it down into smaller things. Which hint hint, if you're listening, taking notes, this is these are great tips to be able to create various pieces of content for you. But you
Hmm.
take something really big like how to create reels, you can chop it up into these little baby things of where to get your ideas. And if we're talking about where to get ideas, maybe a pain point would be how do I find existing trends? Or are you having trouble finding trends? Are you having trouble finding hot and popular sounds? Is that kind of what you're talking about with hitting a pain point?
Yeah, I think that, but it also goes deeper than that. I think I really enjoy because obviously I primarily sell to women. I think a lot of people in the online space primarily sell to women just because that seems to be how this online space is saturated. But I think as women, a lot of us buy based off of emotions. And so I
Yes.
find that through attraction marketing and breaking it down, not even just into like professional pain points, but personal pain points
Hmm.
as well, you're able to kind of get inside your ideal client's head. So like, for example, if we're talking about reels, finding trending audios or, video trends is definitely a pain point. But I think another pain point could be like, well, I don't even feel confident enough to show up on video, or like,
Mm.
I'm going to look stupid if I do that trend, or like
Hmm.
something along those lines of like, digging deeper into like the really the core root of that pain point,
Yeah.
because I think there are pain points, and then I think that there are symptoms of pain points.
Oh,
So it's,
okay.
you know what I mean? We're getting deep.
Yeah. Oh, I like it because I was
um,
about to say that what we said about trending sounds and trending audio. I mean, you just took it so much deeper and really for a lot of people it is deeper. It's what you just said of like I don't want to show up on reels because I have like my confidence isn't there. Or I feel like I'm going to be
right,
silly. Really getting to that root and really kind of just like tapping it a little bit to be like, first
hmm,
of all, you're not alone. You're not the only one that struggles with this. But hey, by the way,
right.
I have your solution and I can help you. Oh, I kind of love that.
Yeah, it's really cool actually, because it's funny, I've been using these strategies for so long. And when I do this, I literally have my dream clients in my DMs. They're like, so are you in my brain or like what's going on? Because
That's so good.
they're like, oh my gosh, like you read my mind. And so,
Yeah.
like, for example, if you're a social media manager and you're talking about how like these coaches maybe are struggling, it's like you've got this really booming business, but now you have to show up on
Yeah.
reels and maybe you're not feeling confident enough. If I were to basically give you a strategy for reels that would make you feel confident and then gave you
Mhm.
real ideas as
Yeah.
your social media manager, you would be able to basically just be like, okay, I don't even have to think about this. Let me just go ahead and film these reels. And then my
Right.
social media manager has got it. So like it boosts your confidence so much, but then
Mhm.
it also, you see like a professional ROI. So like it basically saturates every single area of your life and
Yeah.
your business with attraction marketing.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. Okay, so
Yeah.
for those that are just again brand new to attraction marketing, they want to work this in. I mean, once you're in it and you've been doing it for a while, you just kind of start to pick up on things like obviously that's somebody's pain point. It's showing up a lot in my feed, it's showing
Mm-hmm.
up a lot in my DMs, but what are some signs like that business owners and small businesses and entrepreneurs can kind of pick up on, like listening, not just even in their own little house of Instagram, not on their own
Bubble.
profile,
Yeah.
but like what are things that they can be attuned to or make sure that they're being aware of so that they start picking up on those more deep rooted pain points that their ideal client will have.
Yeah. So there are a couple of exercises that I walk my clients through when it comes to identifying pain points. And you
Yeah.
can do this from the get go of your beginnings of your business. So I think the first thing is market research. That is huge when it comes to
Yes.
attraction marketing. Like you could think that you know someone's pain point and you could be
Mhm.
totally off base. I remember that I had an offer that I was coming out with and I was like, this is so cool. This is going to solve everyone's problems. And I didn't do market research on it. I just assumed that I knew people's pain points and it
Yeah.
was crickets when I launched it. And I was like,
Mm.
oh crap. Okay. So
Mhm.
clearly I was off here. But then I decided to do some market research and kind of turn it around a little bit based on what my findings were from market research, and it blew up. And so
Yeah.
I think that no matter what kind of business you own, you need to first of all identify who is your ideal client, and then second of all identify, what are some questions that you can ask them to really dive deep into
Yeah.
what their struggles are and their pain points, and
Right.
do a ton of market research. And that doesn't have to look like, always getting on calls with people. You can do
Right.
that on your stories on Instagram. You can do it, through your content, like, comment below, whatever, the answer to the question is. So market
Yeah.
research is huge, first of all. And then second of all, an exercise that I really walk my ideal clients or my clients through when they're trying to identify pain points is basically like put yourself in the shoes of your dream client and basically walk through their day
Mhm.
and experience the struggles or the pain points that they would be experiencing if they weren't working with you. Like,
Yeah.
for example, I am a marketing strategist. My ideal clients are usually going to be online coaches and online service providers. So if I'm putting myself in the shoes of an online coach who doesn't have a marketing strategist and I'm walking through my day, maybe I'm like launching a new offer or something. And very similar to my experience, I didn't do market research. I don't know people's pain points. I don't have a
Yeah.
strategy. I'm just throwing content against the wall, hoping something sticks. And then I don't make as much money as I was hoping to for my launch. So like
Yeah.
there's so many different pain points that you can come up with and experience when you do that exercise. And again, you don't have to limit it to like professional pain points. It can be emotional, family, like relational pain points that you're
Sure.
experiencing, personal, emotional. So I think those two things are really helpful when it comes to like coming up with pain points
Yeah.
to really speak to.
Yeah. Ooh, so much good stuff there. And I want to go back a little bit to the market research side of things because
Yeah.
this is actually a new concept for a lot of people. And it's something you should do like throughout your business. It's not one of those things that's like one and done. Okay, I'm good to go. It's one of those
Yeah.
things you have to revisit because times change, trends change, marketing
Right.
strategies tweak a little bit, but kind of break down for us market research. What does that look like? I mean, even give us kind of a peek into your own market research of when you're checking stuff out, of when you're looking at your ideal client, or maybe what other even people in your space are doing.
Yeah. So like I said, I think when you say market research, it's like such a daunting term. People are like, oh God, I have to
Yes.
talk to people. Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's really not as scary as it sounds. It can be super simple, honestly. And it's mostly just like trying to figure out with questions. First
Hmm.
of all, what are your ideal clients' pain points in relation to the offer you're trying to sell? Or
Hmm.
the product or whatever your business is. Second of all, like what could potentially be the transformation that they would be experiencing? You can
Mm.
ask about investment, like what they would find valuable within that
Yeah.
offer. So, for example, obviously, I'm doing mostly strategy right now, but when I first started my business, I was doing done for you digital marketing services, which I still do, but on a
Yeah.
very limited basis. And so when I was trying to sell out my full digital marketing package, I did a lot of market research with six or multiple six-figure coaches, because those were the people I was trying to target, to
Yeah.
really identify like, what is it that you're struggling with? Would you even consider hiring on a digital marketing manager? What is
Yeah.
it like? What are the team members that you already have right now? What do they do for you? Trying to
Yeah.
understand kind of like where that role would fit into their business.
Yeah.
And then a lot of them basically told me, like, first of all, I don't have the time to do any of my own digital
Mm.
marketing. So that was
Hmm.
a really big pain point that I hit home on. And then, second of all, a lot of them were like, I grew so fast to six figures that, like, at this point, I have my sights set on either multiple six figures or seven figures. And I don't know, I don't even have a strategy. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
get lucky, but like, I kind of just winged it a
It's a
little bit.
it's a little bit of both. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with like striking it hot. I feel like that's happened with a lot of people, with especially with reels coming into the game. That blew a
Right.
lot of people up, and
Mm-hmm.
before they were ready to take on the influx of clients that were flooding to them, which is great. But I mean, it just goes to show the importance of having your home base really set up for success.
Totally.
But I mean, so I don't want to disregard luck as like this bad thing. Oh, you just got lucky. Like, no, they're putting in the
Right.
work, and something really like you struck gold with it. Now we just are like kind
Yeah.
of scrambling a little bit to get everything just in
Right.
order. Totally.
Yeah. So it's like they needed a strategy, and like what got them to six figures isn't going to
Yeah.
get them to multiple six figures or seven figures. So they're like, I need somebody who's an expert who can come in
Yeah.
and like strategize with me, essentially. So I honed in on like asking questions about what their pain points were. And so I was
Hmm.
able to dig even deeper, like into what they told me. And honestly,
Yeah.
those two things were like the main things that I was hearing. And so
Right.
once you hear it enough times, you're like, okay, this is clearly what people are struggling with. Let me now tweak my offer or tweak the way that I'm marketing things to make sure that I'm speaking to those things or that it's solving those problems, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So not only are you getting in conversations, intimate, like DM conversations with your ideal
Yeah.
clients or people that you would love to work with, and you're just straight up asking them, hey, what do you struggle with? I mean, that's a direct answer right there. For my listeners and people that are watching this video too, for those of you that are like, I don't want to get in people's DMs, I'm too scared to do that. Well, happy for you. There's lots of other ways that you can get these answers,
Yes.
even if people aren't asking you directly, because maybe you haven't positioned yourself as that authority figure yet. Keyword is yet,
Mm-hmm.
because you will. Is go check out the people that are doing very similarly what you would like to do. Not exactly, obviously, because not everybody is, cookie cutter right the same, but to go look at what other people might be doing and maybe the questions that they're getting asked, because if people are asking them in general, it's kind of a general consensus that those questions are being asked overall. So that's
Mm-hmm.
obviously another great way to do that. And I give you full credit for just getting in those DMs and like, yo, what do you struggle with? Can you just kind of give me an inside peek at like what are your biggest struggles? And now, are these
Yeah.
people that you knew before, or did you build a rapport with these people beforehand?
It was kind of a bunch of different types of people. I would honestly, so I did ask like clients who I had previously,
Hmm.
just like, hey, can I ask you a question about where you were at when we started working together or things like that?
Yeah.
If you don't have previous clients, I literally would straight up DM dream clients of mine and just be like, listen, you're literally my dream client. I'm not trying to pitch you, but can I ask you a few questions? And it was actually funny because a lot of people who I asked market research questions of, I would also say like, hey, this is my offer. This is the solution that it gives. Is this something that you would find valuable, or that you would consider investing in? And I actually got like 2 or 3 clients from market research, literally from straight up just asking
Brilliant.
them, because they were like, oh my God, I need that,
Oh my gosh. So
because
cold message without the cold message, because you straight up said, "Hey, I'm not here to pitch you, but I like these are the offers that I'm coming out with. Would you A, find this valuable, and B, what are you struggling with?" I that's like taking
yeah,
cold messaging to a whole nother level, but it's in
yeah,
like a warm, your
right,
intentions are not just to sell. Your
right.
intentions are actually to better your own offers
Yeah.
and be able to serve your ideal client. I love that. And that you got
One,
clients out of it too.
yeah, and that wasn't even my intention. Like I
Right.
swear I did not go into the DMs being like, oh, I'm just going to
Right.
position it this way so I can sell it.
Yeah.
It was truly for market research purposes for my content, because my goal is to never, like, the way I want to scale my business is not to sell in the DMs or like to chase people. My goal is
Yes.
always to let my content do the selling. And
Yeah.
so it just so happened that they were like, this is actually what I've been looking for. So can we work together? So
This
it
is
was
so
kind of
great.
cool. Yeah.
That's phenomenal. I love that. Okay, so let's talk about your content piece before we kind of wrap this up. But your
Yep.
content piece, as you just said it, you would rather your content sell for you. Now, do you
Hmm.
have like a special formula that a lot of people will say you need to hit the pain point, you need to list what those pain points, and other struggles that might be related to that pain point. And then at the end, you bring it home with, knight in shining armor, which is you're the knight in shining armor with your solution. Is that kind of how you format your content, something similar, or what you got going on? I'm peeking under the hood
Yeah,
again.
definitely something similar. There are several content pillars within attraction marketing, and a lot of the formulas for the actual like body of the caption are very similar, but sometimes they differ. I love using problem awareness content. So, like you said, really hitting on those pain points and digging into the emotions of things, especially if you sell
Yes.
to women, I think is so key. And then really like talking about the transformation that your services can provide is huge. It's really funny because I did a whole mini course about like all of the different formulas that
Yeah.
you can use for all of the different content pillars for attraction marketing, and people were like, holy crap, like this is actually really easy. Like when you
I'm
have the
That's so
formula.
funny.
But
I
the
think
one
that's
thing that
so
I
funny.
yeah, I know, it's really funny because I think like with so many other things, I mean, we just
We just,
overcomplicate it,
oh my gosh, all the time. We overthink, we overcomplicate, we overwhelm, and we get at the end
right?
of it, we're like, oh, that actually wasn't that
I
bad.
know. That was actually really easy. Okay. But it's funny because like I had formulas written out, and I've had so many people like DM me basically saying like, oh my gosh, I had like 5 people in my DMs this week just from using your formulas. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it works. But I think, having a strategy is really key. But I think what really brings the strategies to life is like authenticity and showing
Yeah,
up in like the most true magnetic version of yourself, because
right,
that's like the magic behind your words. That's where your dream clients are like, wow, there's something really special about this person. Like, I want to work with them, whatever you
right.
do in your business. So I think that the magic formula is really strategies plus using authenticity and like that magnetic approach. But if you're looking for like formulas or breakdown, I definitely
Yeah.
have those.
Oh, dang. I love that. That's a good segue as we're kind of closing this out. Please share with everyone where they can find you, connect with you, and potentially work with you as well.
Yeah, so you guys can find me on Instagram. My handle is virtually Savannah, and I've got lots of different things going on in the next few months in terms of attraction marketing. So if you want to work with me, you can follow me, send me a DM, all that good stuff, and we can connect.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me today. This was a great, great conversation. And I know not just myself, but I know that everybody listening and watching as well got so much out of it too. So thank you so much.
Of course, thank you for having me. I had so much fun.
Stop.